Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a series of videos about SolidWorks scripting using Python, and in this video we are going to talk about drawing, and this is part 1. Okay, let's begin. I have designed a part in SolidWorks. Let me show you. You can see the part I have designed, and I have set dimension for all the sketches, as you can see here, or even cut extrude here, for example. And I want to create a drawing for this part. As you know, it is very simple and easy job to create a drawing for this part. You just need to create new and making drawing from this part or assembly. And then you need to specify the size of the sheet you are going to use. For example, I'm going to select A4. And at last I'm going to say or click OK. And SolidWorks created drawing sheet for me, and here I can drag and drop my different views here. For example, left, right, and other views. And it is, as you can see, it is very simple to create a drawing from a part. But we don't want to do this task manually, and we want to write a script to do it for us. Let me close this document first. I don't want to save it. First, I'm going to run my libraries and then connect SolidWorks to Python and create a new block. Here, I'm going to write the code and explain it. But before that, let me search for the function we are going to use. The first function we are going to use is, let me first open API help, new document, as you can see it here. And new document gets 4 arguments. The first one is template name. The second one is paper size, weight, and height. And let me show you what each of these arguments means. Template name is the argument we are going to pass, or it's better to say is the address in our local device that point to the template SolidWorks going to use for creating new documents such as assembly part or even drawing. For the next paper size, let me click it. We have different options here. You can use 12 for user-defined argument, or you can just use 0 for paper size, paper A size. That I'm going to use 0 in this argument. When you use 0, you don't need to specify weight and height anymore. So I'm going to use new documents, and for the paper size, I'm going to put 0. Okay, let's write the code here. Okay, I have used new document and I'm typing the address, and I use 0 for paper size, so I don't need to specify weight and height of this paper or the sheet we are going to use. So now I'm able to create a new document. And don't forget the R here to put it before this address. And if you didn't install the SolidWorks in the C drive, you need to find this folder and this file where you installed your SolidWorks. Now I need some access, and I need to have access to SW drawing or SolidWorks drawing and have access to the sheet we are going to work on. So with these 2 lines, I can get the access to these 2 variables that I'm going to use them in the future. Okay, let's run this block and see what happens. I'm going to run this block, and as you can see, now I have just a drawing document or a new drawing document without any open sheet, without any properties and drawing view or model view. I'm going to close this one. So I need to add different codes and more codes to be able to have a very perfect drawing sheet. First, I'm going to use set properties. I'm going to search it in API help and show you. Then I'm going to use set template or template name, set template name function. And this is this function, I mean, get just one argument. And as you can see, this is the address or the name of the file that when we want to create a new document, let me show you, it's better to show you. I'm going to create a new document, and here he asked me the sheet size. So this is where you can choose the sheet size, and this is the address or this is the name of the file you're going to use. For example, if I choose this sheet size, it will this variable is going to change, so I'm going to use this one instead. But I just want to use this size. And at last we have reload template to reload or rebuild our template. Let me search for set properties 2 in API help. Okay, and this is under iSheet. And as you can see, it gets a lot of arguments. The first one is paper size. We passed 0. Let me show you here. I'm going to use 0 because I don't want to use paper user defined. And when I use 0 for paper size, I'm not going to pass any weight and height. For template arguments, I'm going to use 0, as you can see here, for template size. And for the rest arguments, I'm going to use defaults. When you use macro to get this function, you can see these default arguments. So I'm going to use default arguments. And then we have same template name that I explain it. This is where you should specify the size of the paper you are going to use. And at last we have a reload template. Okay, let's run this block and see what happens. It first creates a sheet for us, then set the paper size, and at last rebuild it for us. So now we have a drawing sheet with a proper size, and now we are able to add our model views. But before that, we need to specify this drawing is related to what part or assembly. So we need to write more codes to specify this. And for that, we need to write one more line of code, and we are going to use generate view plate views. I'm going to search this function in API help. It's a very simple function. As you can see, it just gets one argument, and this is the address. It says file name, but we need to pass the full address, not just file name. And don't forget the R before the address. We need to pass this address to import this part or even assembly as a model view to our drawing. Okay, let me run this code. And after 3 seconds, now we have access to different views from this part. We can drag and drop them here. So now we are able to create a drawing and add our part with just 2 blocks. I'm going to add this line here. So now with just running this block, we are able to create a very simple and powerful drawing. Next, I'm going to talk about how to add different views. Let me first delete this view. Okay. And and this one. Okay. There are different functions and ways to add views in SolidWorks drawing. I'm going to show you some of them. For the first function, we are going to use create third angle view tools, and it gets just one argument, and it automatically creates three main views for us. Okay, let me run this code, and here you can see the SolidWorks or Python scripting creates 3 main views for us in drawing. And this is third angle view. We have something called first angle view. Some countries use third angle view, and some countries use first angle view. I'm going to show you the first angle view too, and for that I'm going to just simply copy this one and say first angle. Let me delete these and run this block. And as you can see, we can create first angle view automatically using SolidWorks API. And as I said, some countries use first angle views and some countries or systems use third angle views. It's depend on you which one you're going to use. The next option we have is something called create draw view from model. And let me search it in API help first. Create draw from model view 3. And this is the function we are going to use, and this function can create model from different views we specify for it. And it gets these arguments. Model name is the address of our part. View name is the name of our view, for example, front view, left view, right view, top view, or isometric, even isometric. And this argument is the location where we want to put our view. And this is the center of our view, not a bounding box. This is the location of the center. And most of the time, the Z location is equal to 0, and we need to justify X and Y. Okay, I'm going to write a code here, and I want to create a draw view or model view for the isometric view. First, I'm going to specify the part name or the address of the part. Then I'm going to say what or which view I want. I said isometric. And then here we have the location of the view I want to be placed. It can be a little better. For example, just 2. And here just, or even here 0.2 meters, I think is fine. Let me run this block of code, and here you can see I'm able to add a new isometric view. You can play with these two locations to place the drawing where it is proper or perfect for you. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. In this video, we talk about how to create a new drawing from a part or even assembly. Then we talk about how to create a third angle view or even second angle view. And at last, we talk about how to create a model view from any views you want. For example, isometric, front, left, top, or any views you want. See you guys in the next videos, and goodbye.